Last year, Harvest Field Farms lost their cattle and pigs to disease. We've been called in to help. Our goal is to help rebuild their herd and make the farm profitable again within 2 years. Whether we will succeed or not remains to be seen. Welcome to SWU Farm Rescue. Welcome back to SWU Farm Rescue. I'm Socks Way Up. Well, the winter in Iowa has been rough. Pretty much the entire winter it snowed on us. You can see here we are liming the grass field, taking care of that, making sure it's ready for the next harvest. And then the next thing we did was the nitrogen on the grass field as well. Really focused on maximizing the product out of that field. Then we sold a little bit of oats. Got all our straw sold as well in January, as well as the corn. We sold all the silage in January as well. And you can see in this clip, we finally did get a telehandler on the premises that is owned by the Harvest family. Definitely is going to help them out for the years to come. It's working out much better than the last one. You can see we're extending it there, dumping it into the trailer with ease, no struggle at all. Took it over to the sales station, the first of many loads. This definitely helped the financial situation in January. February came around and we did some maintenance on the tractors. We wanted to make sure they were prepped for the next year. It's a busy year for us. Everything needs to be running great. You can see we also did pay off the loan. No more loan, just the mortgage left. The big loan is gone. Well, winter is almost over. Spring is just around the corner any day now. And we've gotten our sprayer purchased so that we can finally spray the weeds in this field. We got our narrow tires on both the implement and the tractor, which is very handy for this situation so we don't damage crops. So we should get this lowered here and turned on. It's been a very successful winter when it comes to sales and getting out of debt, as we probably showed you a little bit in the winter recap. But now it's focused on getting those animals to the farm and as well as focus on that big mortgage. So we still got some debt we want to get paid off before our 2 years is up here, but tracking really good so far. And the Harvest family is very excited about the progress they've already seen and the relief from those payments. We don't typically like to do this when there's frost on the crops still like this, but I wanted to get this done before they start growing again, and I think it will be okay. We'll test it out this time. We could have waited a few more days for the frost to go away, but I think it was best to get on top of this, and really haven't done much around the farm since November, so I was kind of itching to get into a tractor, not just driving back and forth selling product. With the spraying all done, our next job is going to be getting one of the bigger tractors and the Scout and surveying the fields that we haven't yet. I believe it's all 4 fields, all the 4 large ones. So that's going to be a little bit of cash, and realistically we could get away with just using this tractor. So let's go ahead and do that since we're in it already. After that, we'll start liming all 4 of those fields and plant one of them this month. As we talked in other episodes, we're definitely going to be spreading out the process of growing, and we don't want to harvest multiple fields in the same month if we can avoid it. So we'll be taking that into account during this spring planting season. No better place to start than over here. Lots of weeds in these fields. We got to decide if we're going to cultivate them or direct drill. I think we might do cultivation though for the first go around. Might be the best choice. But we'll get all the scanning done and show you the results. So all the surveying is done. We're going to put this away back in the other barn so it's closer to my truck, because this is mine. But you can see we're at $28,000 now. That ate up a lot of our cash getting that surveyed. So next we will get the spreader, start getting that going. We'll prioritize the field to the farthest field, because that's the one we want to plant today. So we'll get that one done first. And hopefully we got enough money to pay for all this lime. At this point, we're hoping we didn't overspend. We're down to $17,000 from all of the lime that we bought. So we'll get this all filled up. And again, we'll head out to that far field out there, get it done. So I'm driving out here. I realized we never went over the soil types. You can see a nice bit of clay as we assumed, but then the rest isn't bad. So it looks like some areas are going to be a little rough in here, but other than that, I think we're going to do okay. But the lime's definitely going to help. The way we're going to use nitrogen is going to help, and this one was cultivated. So yeah, that took care of some of the weeds, but we will still have to take care of that eventually as well. But let's go ahead and get this thing turned on. And we missed a spot to begin with. Can't wait for my workers to get back to do some of this hard work for me. They should be here momentarily to help plants and spray and all that. There we go, lined up much better. All right, time to bust this out. You know, sometimes implements look bigger in the garage than they do out in the field, and this is something I'm a little sad I didn't recognize early enough, but now we're kind of stuck because of finances. We're going to put sugar beets in this field. We were talking about doing potatoes, but we're going to shift that to sugar beets because we don't have the money to buy a planter for potatoes, and we'll have to lease equipment to harvest this, but I think it'll be a good decision. You know, sugar beets and potatoes are interchangeable for cows. They like them both, so that'll definitely work for that. Or not cows, for pigs. So we'll get this planted, and this day seems to be, you know, flying by a little bit faster than I thought. It took a while to lime the field, but you can see behind me we got one of the workers out there taking care of that one, which we're going to plant corn next month in. So we'll get the sugar beets planted, and gosh, it's going to be a long one. Well, I talked with Henry, and he decided that it was okay to spend a little bit of money on leasing a planter. The planter we're going to lease, we'll see that in a second. We're going to use this planter for the next 2 months for the 2 fields that need a planter, and then we'll return it to kind of fund it and keep money in our pocket. We're going to sell the existing planter and fertilizer kit, and after we sell the soybeans, we'll replace it with the long-term planter. It'll probably be the same one that we're leasing now that can do fertilizer and plant at the same time. So let's go get that. We'll drop it off for the tractor, pick up that implement and planter that it's using, and take it back to the store and get it sold. So we've made it over to the dealership here. We're gonna go ahead and we'll do all the repainting and repairing, get the most out of these. Go ahead and sell that, puts us at 14,000. This one we will repaint, repair, sell that. Gets us at $66,000. We're going to customize this while we're here. We're going to add GPS to it. And I think that's about it. Go ahead and do that. 15,000 for that. It's all customized and set up. This will be nice. We take care of this. Weeds will not show up in this field at all. We might catch up though because of the width on this thing. That's okay. Well, it's April. Time seems to be going by fast. Just checking on the workers, getting this field limed, the old corn field. And then we drive up to our new corn field that should be getting seed put into the ground right now. And it looks like that is the case. Beautiful. We can see our sugar beets are starting to come in real nice here. You can see our wheat's growing really good here. Got a couple weeds that we missed, but overall, it's looking great. Let's check out the barley field next. They look very similar at this stage. Very similar. Barley's growing nice, in good condition as well. Things are going a little too smooth. And the other field to check on is the grass field. We got this limed and fertilized last month. It's growing in nice. There's some product we missed. Growing in nice. It looks like maybe next month or probably June we'll do our first cut of this. Welcome to May. We have 27,000 in the checking account and about $400,000 in debt left. 438 to be exact. And today we're gonna plant some soybeans and sorghum. We'll go ahead and jump in the John Deere, get attached to the seeder, get out to the field and hand over to one of our employees. After we get the sorghum planted, we're gonna do soybeans in the big field right here. So we're gonna go to the far field for sorghum and soybeans for here. Well, the sorghum's planted. We're putting the nitrogen down now. I have no idea why this thing's jumping like that. And you can see in the background, we are putting some nitrogen down first on the soybean farm or field and planting the soybeans at the same time. I wanted to get a little bit of nitrogen in that field. It was in such bad shape from the years of not being treated correctly. So I wanted to repair it a little bit. Even though soybeans don't need nitrogen, I felt like the soil still needed the treatment. Bobby and Ken are taking care of that for us. I'm gonna finish spraying this, and then I'm gonna check on the chickens, make sure they have enough food, and that's about it for the month of May. So far, this farm rescue for the Harvest Field Farms has been very successful. Nothing bad has happened yet. Can our luck stay that good? Thanks for hanging out. I'm Socks Way Up. I'll catch you on the next episode.